Hey guys, Sonyx here. I hope you're having a great day. So I wanted to make an updated Season 30 Legends tier list. Now, the season has been out for over a week, and the meta has changed a lot. A lot of Legends got buffed, a lot of the Legends got nerfed. So I wanted to kind of make my opinion on what Legends are strong and which Legends aren't as strong. Now, this is all personal opinion, so don't start hating in the comments or anything. Just yeah. If your Legend isn't as high, I mean, it is my take. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the first legend we have is Alter. Alter has been nerfed silently through the past few seasons. You know, she used to be an S tier legend, double portal, used to be healer even, with a certain perk, but now she has great 1v1 potential with her tactical, but unfortunately it's just a lot weaker. Her getaway potential, like in resetting capabilities, is still pretty strong in a team-wide setting for sure. Ashe, unfortunately, though, I would say Ashe is just right underneath because Ashe got nerfed much heavier than Alter did. The double ultimate, double dash ability was taken away completely. Her dash is just much slower to regenerate. It takes just, and then the velocity in which you dash is just much weaker as well. So Ashe had her reigns a few seasons back. She was absolutely, if there was a tier above S tier, she would be up there, but she's kind of fell through the cracks. And then now we have Ballistic. Now, Ballistic got buffed not too long ago. I think it was last season split 29 split 2. But I do think Ballistic is a lot stronger, but I don't think he is still meta. It's very strange. With corrupted attachments now existing in the game, Ballistic is a lot stronger, especially if you have like dual P20s. You could reload way faster if you have your ult. But I don't think Ballistic's kit has necessarily changed to make him like the meta character. So I think Ballistic sits in a solid B tier. He is still functional as a character, but I don't think he's breaking the meta anytime soon. Bangalore, I think Bangalore is at a pretty nice spot at A tier. Bangalore really didn't get nerfed. I know for a while, when they made the change where Bangalore could break doors, and then buffs to the ultimate, like she had her strong season then. But the nerfs that they took away from her aren't as strong as Alter or Ashe, for example. Like she can still perform really well in the team. Just a great overall character in general. But Bangalore at a solid A tier for sure. Now Bloodhound. Now this is a big one. Bloodhound used to sit. I don't even know why this. This tier list should have like an F tier because Bloodhound was there for the longest time. Now, there was a change that Bloodhound had in season 27, 28. It was a few seasons back where Bloodhound Catalyst and Fuse had some changes, and Bloodhound kind of got strong reworks on the original kit. But now, it still didn't really work though. The Bloodhound's kit was still pretty weak. It still just buffed the original kit. Bloodhound's kit now includes invisibility with the ult, and I mean it's just insane, right? So I think Bloodhound is at a solid A tier. Now I don't think Bloodhound is at an S tier just because the passives, and in terms of the old Bloodhound where you can see kind of black and white and the enemies turn red, that really helped Bloodhound a lot. So they removed that. They gave the invisibility. What I think would have made Bloodhound S tier was if they kept that ability on top of the invisibility ultimate, like absolutely make Bloodhound completely broken at that point. But I think now Bloodhound sits in a very, very comfortable place in the recon class. Not the weakest recon legend anymore. It used to be, but I think now Bloodhound sits perfectly comfortable at A. Not broken, but just finally caught up to the rest of the team. So yeah, I'd place Bloodhound at a very comfortable A tier for this season. Now, Catalyst, Controller Legends, it's not really their season this time around. Rampart did get buffed, but I think Catalyst is still pretty strong as a general legend to play. It is hard to push a Catalyst in general. You can fortify an area completely well, and compared to all of the Controller Legends, Catalyst is the only legend that can do outdoor kind of rotations because she has the ultimate veil. So Rampart, if you get caught in the open, you have your walls, but those can get broken down. And then, Gibby, not Gibby, sorry. Caustic, once the gas runs out, that's it. She has the ability to rotate her team. So she kind of is like a hybrid legend, and she has that positional power. So I think Catalyst sits at a solid B tier. I don't think Catalyst is broken, but pretty decent character for sure. Now, I think Caustic is still strong this season. They've tried to rework Caustic so many times to balance whether it's buffing or it's nerfing him. But dude, the Caustic gas is just absolutely broken. It cancels every other thing here. And it's like, no, you're not going to push a Caustic building, because as soon as you start getting ticked with the gas, that's it. Your team is pretty much dead if you stay in there for like a little too long. Caustic is very comfortable. He's probably one of the strongest legends in the controller class. So Conduit. Now Conduit is in a weird place because Conduit got nerfed multiple times. Yeah, and then Conduit used to be S tier with Power Booster, because if you would get a knock, you could reshield your teammates instantly in the blink of an eye, and then you could reshield yourself. But with Power Booster getting nerfed this season, I believe Conduit is at a much lower place because she can't retack after she gets a knock. So I think she is one of the best healer legends that has ever existed, just because she can instantly keep her team alive without having them, preventing them from going down. Like a lot of these legends, like Newcastle, you get the revive shield, Lifeline, you can heal with a drone and all that, but Conduit can keep your team alive before they go down. You see the difference there? These characters are strong when the teammate is already down. So that's why I think I don't know why I keep saying Catalyst. Sorry, guys. Conduit, because they're literally right next to each other. Conduit, I think, is still comfortably at A class, at A tier. So pretty happy with that right there. Crypto, strong legend. Don't get me wrong. Personally, for me, just not as strong as pure movement. Movement has been shifting the meta in Apex for a really long time. If you don't have movement in general, yeah, he has the invisibility thing, cool, right? But he just cannot fight movement legends. He can res people really fast. He can scan people really well. But in terms of against Valkyrie, against Sparrow, against Bloodhound, Bloodhound, I know Bloodhound does not have movement, but the team-wide invisibility thing is just absolutely insane. So Crypto is cool. I don't think Crypto is Crypto definitely needs a rework. They've tried over the seasons to rework Crypto, but it just feels like he is still down there. I'm Crypto. I would say C tier. Okay, Gibby is insane this season. I put Gibby above Conduit just because Gibby's speed is faster than Octane, Axel, and a ton of different skirmisher legends. And then the fact that he is a support legend and he runs faster, especially because there's a corrupted stock you could put on the shotguns now, and you keep pick up the shotgun perk that you can make you run faster and stuff. And he has a new passive ability. You stack that all together, Gibby is the fastest legend, and he doesn't require a stim. He doesn't require any excess abilities. It's baked into his kit, So Gibby is a monster, and the fact that he has the revive, the dome that can stun people if they try to push. He's a defensive monster this season. So I would say Gibby is a strong S tier, and I've seen a lot of Gibbies this season, and man, he is scary to fight once he has a PK or Mastiff or literally any shotgun. The next one we have is Horizon. Sorry to say this, Horizon is at a D tier. I don't want to put her at D tier. She's probably C tier, but I have to have a legend that just has fell through the ranks. You know what? I'm comfortable putting her at C tier. She is a strong legend. Her attack, her grav, and her ult. I mean, everything is really strong. But she's just fell, just like Ashe. Horizon had her peak when she used to fry people with her lift, but unfortunately now they nerfed every single part of her kit because she was way too broken, just the way Ashe was. she could still serve the team pretty well, but she just doesn't have that team wide reposition like Pathy does, or a Valkyrie or something like that. So Horizon is a pretty decent legend, but just not as strong as she once was anymore. And you guys remember how broken she was back then. The next one we have is Lifeline. Now Lifeline, she got that rework with the ult, the ult bubble and everything. She's a lot stronger now. I would say she isn't as strong as she was when she was first released. Being able to revive people with the Dock Drone, like with the revive shield, that thing was broken. The revive shield, but she isn't. She used to be like back in season 0, like absolute double S tier, but now she's just at a solid B tier. She's a great healer legend, but she isn't as strong as the other ones for sure. She's kind of fell a little bit lower throughout the lists the past few seasons. Not to say that she isn't a weak legend. She is a very strong legend compared to the base legends here. But she's what else can you say? She's Lifeline. Solid character all around, but nothing groundbreaking for the game. Loba. Now, interesting one. Loba, I would say, is in an S tier. It's weird because this actually, I'm looking at the list now, and it's the meta is shifting to support legends this season, because Loba is. If you think Gibby can get away fast, Loba doesn't even need to run. She throws that bracelet down and instantly teleports. She has 2 of them, and then the velocity in which she throws the bracelet, she can literally just get away so fast. So I think Loba is at a solid S tier, right? Her kit kind of in terms of like the gold stuff, there's no gold gear anymore because everything is corrupted now. She can't, like, when she uses her ultimate, there's no one of her perks, doesn't have gold backpacks anymore because they had to put purple. So there isn't that ability, so it kind of hindered that fact. But she has the access to her black market, and then she has her passive where she can see through walls, and that can help her with the corrupted attachments, which are absolutely broken this season. On top of her movement and everything in general, she just got hella buffed. So I would say Loba is at a solid S tier. Yeah, she's just very, very strong. It's hard to fight a good Loba. She can reset her team completely in the blink of an eye. Maggie. Now, I think Maggie is still really strong. The drill is really hard to fight, and the wrecking ball can counter almost any ability in the game. And once you get stunned, you're pretty much dead. It's like getting hit by an Axel ult. So Maggie, I think, is still at actually, I would say Maggie's at a B tier. Maggie had her prime time for a while, but I think she is just a very, very well-rounded character. I don't think she's broken in any way, but she has really strong pressuring capabilities similar to Fuse. So yeah, I would say Maggie's a solid B tier. Like between A to B, if there's like an A point, A and a half, B and a half, like in between these characters, but I'd say B. Comfortable with that. Mirage. Now, I kind of forgot about Mirage for a little bit because Mirage has the Invisi-Res. Mirage has always been a solid character. I would say Mirage is at a B tier. There's nothing, his Invisi-Res is the strongest res in the game. But his kit just is kind of, you have to be like thinking, you have to think like a decoy. You have to think really smart, which can make him very strong, but his general kit requires a lot of that finesse to perform well. But in general, I don't think he is the most broken support legend at this time. He is strong as a character, but I don't think he is strong necessarily as strong as Gibby or Conduit perhaps. Now Newcastle, I would say Newcastle is right next to Conduit because Newcastle has dual roles, right? Conduit can keep the team up before they die. Newcastle can do the same in a way as a fortified legend / controller legend would. The fact that his ultimate can still have that Watson thing where it can eat nades, and then you can literally put up a whole wall blocking you can block a whole choke. Newcastle has area control and revive capabilities that kind of that's just unmatched in the game. So I would say Newcastle is pretty strong. It isn't as strong as Gibby because he doesn't have the movement speed, But he can literally fly to his team if one of his teammates are down. So I would say pretty happy with where Newcastle sits at a solid A tier. It's a very, very strong support legend. I'm just looking at it. There's no support legend below B tier so far. So really, really awesome there. Now, Octane has gotten severely just nerfed, man. Octane has just been nerfed a lot. The dual stims are cool because the second stim used to be able to, it still does. I mean, it heals him, but it doesn't have fortified anymore. And then the I think it's the Daredevil perk. I think it's perk 3, left hand side. Dude, I'm sorry. I've been making so many guides that I forgot, but I think it's Daredevil. They removed the if you're the faster heals on there if you're low. So I would say Octane is at a solid C tier. He is still strong as a 1v1 legend. I would say he sits between B and C. I just don't know exactly where to put him right now. But I would say I'd say like B. Yeah, solid B character. Very strong in general. In a pure 1v1 movement fight, he's going to win against almost every character because it's just hard to shoot him, a guy that's stimming in front of your face. So, yeah, I would say, Octane's at a solid B. Pathy, I would say Pathy is at a solid A. The fact that his kit got completely reworked, the 2 grapples, his hitbox got reduced when he's on the zip line. I don't think he's in an S tier. And I'll explain because for a legend to be an S tier, they usually have to be they have to have some kind of capacity in which that they're completely broken, right? I don't think he has anything in this kit except the dual grapples. That's insane still, but it's not enough to shift him to S tier because something that would shift him to S tier. I'll give you an example. Would be like being able to pop heals while using your zipline, or your team can pop like heals on your zipline, or fast healing on your zipline, or having fortified or on your something like, or being able to, like, in his base kit, he has to choose whether he can scan the survey versus the ring console thing, having that part of his kit so he can be a very well-rounded legend. So very, very strong skirmisher legend now. He was much weaker before, like F tier actually, but the fact that he got his rework and his grapples have been reworked and everything else, solid A tier for sure. Rampart got reworked as well. I do not think Rampart is still weirdly in the meta, right? I think Rampart is strong, don't get me wrong, because stronger than when she was, but she isn't stronger than Caustic still. She isn't stronger than Watson or Catalyst. Yeah, I said it right this time. Yeah, so I mean, she, her walls got buffed. She can get her attachments much faster. But she's just an easy counter to have when you have those walls down. Like, it's easier to push a Rampart building because you could just you can nade spam, you can shoot the cover from an angle, and then you break the cover. Rampart will not have walls, and she'll have to recharge. Versus a Caustic building or a Catalyst building, because she can hold down things really well, but not as well as other controller legends can. So I would say Rampart is a solid C tier for sure. It's crazy we don't have any D tier characters yet. So Revenant, yeah, Revenant's at a solid C tier as well. Revenant hasn't got any. The reason for this is not purely because he just hasn't got any buffs or any kind of changes to his kit, but he's kind of old news now. Like, it's time that Revenant probably got time to shine, but he's been reworked so many times with the removal of the death totem, the revive totem thing, and the silence. So he's just he just has a pounce ability, and then the extra health in his ult, which is cool, but he doesn't instantly recharge like he used to, like he used to be before. I think he's a lot stronger. Actually, I would push him to B tier because as a 1v1 legend, it is really difficult to kill a Rev. Especially when you're a full legend character, just like a normal, like let's say you're you're like Loba or something, or and then if you 1v1 a Rev, it's hard because you have the overshield on him. I mean the ult, so a great 1v1 character. I don't think he is the strongest, character in general like he used to be, but he's pretty strong, in 1v1s. Now we have Seer. This is a very interesting take because Seer, guys, I'm gonna be frank with you. Seer has gotten reworked so many times that he can fall in D tier and S tier at the same time. It's very strange to say because he can literally be in both. He can sometimes be in D tier and the next day he can be in S tier. It's hard to place Seer somewhere. So he's just annoying to fight, man. Like Seer is just sorry guys, my voice kind of rose up there when I talked about Seer. How you could, yeah, the flashbacks came back. Sorry. Let me relax for a second. But yeah, man, a Seer, I would say Seer, it's a hard place to put him. He is still annoying that he scans, but he doesn't stop shield the reses anymore like he used to. But the fact that he can stop abilities, especially any of these abilities in general, he's still a solid character. His kit just is in general. His ult isn't as strong, I would say, as Bloodhound's ult anymore. So I would say, I would say actually he's a pretty solid B tier because Bloodhound's ult is just much stronger in general. Sparrow, weird to say this, but Sparrow is just a solid AT character. The movement, the double jump thing, you just cannot, like, it's one of the strongest passive abilities in the game. That level of movement, and the fact that he didn't get that nerfed like Ash's, velocity and time cooldown, he still retains that, is really, really solid. His ult did get nerfed, so you slow down in the ult, and you can't just like, and the health used to be 500. Now it's I don't know how much, but it's way less. You can't hide behind that thing or, push teams instantly. And you could break it pretty quickly. Just kind of, he used to be S tier, but he falls down to A tier. He's a very, very strong recon legend still, compared to other legends. Like I said, Seer can go up here, Spare can go down here. These probably could interchange, but right now I'm pretty comfortable keeping them there. Now I'm a Valkyrie main. You guys know this, right? Stay healthy or take a breath, right? But I think, man, Valkyrie used to be sitting right up here, right when she got the buff, whether she can, skydive and she can pop missiles while she's in the air. And I mean, she still can do that, don't get me wrong. But they nerfed Valkyrie immensely this season. I understand because she was on top of the meta for the longest time, one of the highest pick rates, right next to Axel. And yeah, they nerfed every single part of her kit. The missiles were nerfed, just the velocity of the missiles, the damage was reduced. Thankfully, they didn't touch her passive. Actually, they did. They removed moon boots. I don't know if you go try that out. It's one of my Valkyrie guides. So they completely removed moon boots. I tried that recently in the range. Not there anymore. It's a passive little nerf. But the ultimate, yeah. So and the perks, she cannot scan anymore with her eyes in the sky perk, her level 2 on the left hand side. She can't scan past 100 meters if they're indoors. So this really, I've been playing Valkyrie this season, just religiously pretty much. And I will land on a team without knowing I landed next to a team. I will think it's a solo, but it's not because his team is like 101 meters away. So that has completely moved her to just an AT character. Just because her scanning ability just isn't as strong, which made her, I didn't realize how strong that was until it was removed. Right? Sometimes, just like life, you don't know what you have until it's gone. So, little life lesson: cherish the people around you. Say I love you to your loved ones, right? And just be kind to each other because you never know. All right, back to the video. Yeah, so I would say Valkyrie's a solid A tier character. She's not broken anymore. They respawn. We get it. Okay, enough. Respawn. Enough. I have my hands up. Okay. And yeah, I would say so, yeah, it's an A tier character for sure. Just don't touch her anymore, please. Please. Okay, Vantage. Vantage. Sorry. I have seen all the reworks to Vantage they've tried over the years. The past few seasons. You know, you can have like a better scope on her thing. And I'm sorry, but Vantage is strong, but she just isn't as strong as other characters. She has the movement with a bat. She has the ultimate, which can shred. Right, she's kind of like a well-tiered version of a recon legend. She has movement and all that stuff, but she just isn't as strong as and you know other recon legends are. You know, compared to Bloodhound or say Valkyrie. You know, she just isn't broken, but she's strong. Don't get me wrong. If I could honestly remove C and D tier, I would move these characters to B tier. But I just to make the list, you know, I would just keep this as it is because I don't think any legend right now is even really below C tier or even below B tier. Every legend is very viable this season. Yeah, but Vantage for sure isn't broken. She's decent. Watson. Now, Watson. Oof, this is a tough one. Stronger than Catalyst, but weaker. See, man, I wish we had an A point, like in between A and B, because how about we do this? We keep her in front of Caustic, but we keep her above Catalyst, and then below Rampart. I like that because Watson is strong. Yeah, really, really strong. You know, her abilities have got reworked, and she got silently buffed as well last season. So she's a lot stronger than she once was. And I would say, compared to other controller legends, much stronger than Catalyst. She doesn't have that outdoor. Actually, she does, because if she is outdoors, anything that rains fire on her, like Gibby's ult or Bangalore's, you know, a Rolling Thunder. Did I just say Rolling Thunder? I don't know if that's actually Bangalore's ultimate. I think it's like a Call of Duty perk, right? Like a kill streak. Maybe, I don't know. Sorry. So yeah, I would say she's a very strong character. It's hard to fight a good Watson player, and it's just like having Caustic. You cannot push that building easily compared to like a Rampart building even. She's very strong, you know. And she can regenerate arc stars with one of her perks, guys. You know, if you start throwing grenades and stuff. So very, very, very awesome character for sure. Wraith, I think Wraith. Ah, man, this is tough because you have Wraith and Axe. Guys, there's really nothing wrong with Wraith right now. I genuinely think Wraith is one of the most solid characters in the game. Wraith, she got buffed with a whole phase dome thing, but Wraith is just one of the most like well-rounded, solid characters in the game. I genuinely think. So I would say Wraith is between S and no. I want to put her between these, but dang it. I'm gonna put her at, I know it's weird to say. I'm gonna put her at, oof, tough one. That's a tough one. Because these characters, Wraith and Axel, they're both really good. But Axel got nerfed heavily this season. Like really heavily, but she's still really good. I'm gonna put Wraith at S and then keep Axel at A, because Axel can now pretty much damage herself with her own ult. I mean, you could use it to your own ability. Like I've seen clips of people using it on themselves so they can gain height. Whatever, it's cool. But Wraith just has no drawbacks right now. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean she can just reposition and get her team out of bad situations in the you know, really, really well. So that's up for contention. I know a lot of debates are going to happen between this specific part of the video. I can totally, you know, I could totally feel that. But yeah, I would say I'm going to keep Wraith at S and then Axel at A. And then Fuse, I'm just going to keep Fuse at C. Honestly, we could probably get rid of C and D in general and just keep these characters like up, like kind of keep these characters over here on the right. But I think I'm just gonna let me take a look at the list. What am I things would I change here? Oh, I didn't explain Fuse. The reason why Fuse is at a C tier because he's a great legend, but his ultimate still sucks. His ultimate compared to the Motherload before could kill people like really well, but now like you have to think smart and if they're in a building, great, you know it works because you can just breach charge it like Maggie's drill, but it's just lackluster. You know, it's not really that strong as it once was. The Motherload was insane, so he can tack jump, he has movement, pretty solid character all around, but it's not. They buffed him, but it almost inadvertently nerfed him as well. So just C tier in general. Now, taking a look at this list, anything I would change here, I'm just identifying. So the Wraith Axle thing, that's got me kind of screwed up a little bit, but I'm going to keep that there. How about we do this? We do that. It's like right underneath Wraith. And then I think that looks pretty decent. Yeah. I don't think I would change anything in terms of the characters. Yeah, C and D, will just get rid of those. Just pretend this is like B.2, okay? Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. The meta has shifted this season a lot with the characters in general. I would say it's more of a support-heavy season. You know, controllers had their time to shine, and some of them still do. But in general, Axel and all the movement legends are gaining a little bit. They're finally their time in the spotlight is kind of slowing down. They're still there. Don't get me wrong. It's still annoying to fight an Axel with a Devo, you know, pushing you. It's really annoying to fight. But with a Gibby and Loba team, that's it. You know, that's game over. So pretty happy with this list. Let me know if you guys you know, agree, disagree, things you would change. Please be respectful in the comments. As I said, this is all personal opinion, so you know, don't start flaming people for having a different opinion than you. That's why the world exists and the diversity exists, right? We can all share our opinion without feeling like you're the only one that's right. So yeah, I if you guys want a weapons tier list, especially, I can try to find. I can make one, probably the one with the corrupted attachments, you know, baked in there. I could totally make one of those. But yeah, this is my season 30 Legends tier list. Hope you guys enjoy that one. If you guys do want, I've started making new type of videos in this channel, especially the like kind of why Skulltown was removed, 30 things Respawn removed from Apex Legends. I think you guys would love these videos. You're like documentary style, so please take a look at some of those. I think you would enjoy it, you know, while you're eating cereal or before you go to bed, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Stay healthy, take a breath. Sonyx out.